and welcome to the next video.
Hi friends, today we are talking about why you should take a cruise during hurricane season. Number 1. Some of the best prices can be found during the off season, which is hurricane season.
Yes, and technically hurricane season runs from June to November. But, some of your best...
December. The end of November is the end of hurricane season.
Okay, but listen to me closely. For any kind of vacation, when kids are in school, you're going to get better prices.
Yeah.
So, that mid-August to November time, you're going to get some of the best prices as far as cruises are concerned.
Yes.
I can't talk right now.
Because they want to fill their ships.
Yes, that is true.
Okay, second reason.
Temperatures in the Caribbean.
Yes, the Caribbean is hot all the time. Not all the time, but it's really hot in the summer. Like when we went on our Disney cruise on the Disney Dream, it was July, the end of July.
August.
On the Disney Dream? No. We went to Disney World in August.
Oh yeah, it was the end of July.
It was the end of July.
It was a week in between those.
No, it wasn't. It was 2. It was 10 whole days. Anyways, it was hot. Now, when we went in September, it was still warm, but it wasn't nearly as hot. Right. I don't get hot very easy. And I didn't start feeling hot or sweaty until after lunch.
Yeah, I don't think... And
it wasn't nearly as hot.
I usually sweat very easily because every place is hot to me. And
we're complete opposites.
I did not... When we were in the Bahamas this time, I was not...
And we went to Nassau. We got off and we were walking around. It wasn't... We weren't leisure because we were super skeptical of being around everyone. But, it wasn't hot. It was comfortable.
Yeah, I didn't have dripping sweat. Didn't have any sweat stains on my shirts or anything like that.
No, it wasn't bad.
So it wasn't terrible.
Okay, reason number 3. Probably the most important reason to go during hurricane season. Your cruise will not be canceled. There are so many ports and so many ships. If a hurricane does come, you will be rerouted somewhere else. We are a prime example of that. Hurricane Jerry changed our cruise from Bermuda, which we were so excited to go to. And we were rerouted to Carnival's private island and to Nassau.
Yeah, and listen, some people like the Bahamas. I really want to go to Bermuda. You can get mad all you want to. But I haven't heard anything bad about going to Bermuda as opposed to going to Nassau.
Well, it's easy for cruise ships to go to Nassau and then go somewhere else because it's so close to the U.S. Another perk to going on a cruise during hurricane season, they won't cancel your cruise. If anything, they'll extend it.
Yes.
Or they'll change it up. So, because ours got changed, they offered us a return credit. What do they call it?
It's called a FCC, a future cruise credit. And it's based on your cruise fare, not what you pay in taxes.
No.
Or your prepaid gratuities or even your insurance that you pay. It's based on specifically your cruise fare. So, yeah.
But you get that back towards another cruise.
Right. So what you do is you have basically a timeline to where you need to book the cruise by, and you can use that credit. You book it, and once you have it booked, you submit the form, the reimbursement form, and they take whatever that amount is off of your currently booked cruise.
And if you use a travel agent, he'll do it all for you.
Yeah, it's pretty... Yeah.
He does all of it for you. He can cut through all that red tape, and you don't have to worry about any of it. So that's something that's really important.
Right. And, with that being said, cruising whenever, I think you should always get travel protection because especially on a cruise, especially during hurricane season, it gives you a little bit of security there. That way, if
Right.
anything does happen,
Yeah.
you're still getting your money's worth, or you're getting your money back, whatever the case may be. You want to going on any kind of
Vacation. You want that
is an investment.
protection.
You should protect your investments.
Sure.
So just
100%.
think about it.
And you have the option too with travel insurance, like because they changed our destination. If we wouldn't have waited until they changed it, we could have canceled
Yeah.
prior to. Once they changed the location, which they only did like 2 days before we actually got on board. If we would have done it before that time frame, we could have used our travel insurance to get refunds. Since we waited until we found out we were going, you can't use your travel insurance at that point unless it's like an extenuating circumstance where someone's really sick, like it's, all in the fine print.
There's legal things you have to worry about. People.
Yeah. So there's that. So you can always cancel it if you're not happy with it or get it rebooked to another port or another destination. So we could have, we were with a group, so we wouldn't have done this, but
Right.
we easily could have said, oh, well, Hurricane Jerry's coming this way. We could have used our travel insurance to change our ship, but we would have changed our port, we would have changed our destination, everything.
It would have been a lot more
work. Yeah.
Some people think that this happens, that ships will sail through the storm. They don't do that. They sail around the storm.
Yep.
And yes, you're still going to get some of the wind and the
choppy seas.
Yeah.
Like we did the first day of our cruise. It was pretty choppy the first day at sea.
And it is what it is. You go on a cruise knowing that at some point you're probably going to get some rough seas. So prepare yourself, people.
Especially during hurricane season. Like with Hurricane Jerry, he literally was like 400 miles northeast of us.
Still
And no, we wanted to go to Bermuda, but we still got to be on the cruise ship. Seas were a little bit rockier, but there's a hurricane, like a Cat 4 hurricane in the same ocean that we're in. It's to be expected.
And granted, when it got to Bermuda, it wasn't as bad as it was. But
nope.
I think people need to realize that, one, you take advantage of just being on the ship and understanding that you're on the ship and you're having a good time. And they know what they're doing. They're going to keep you safe. And
sure. They're going to keep you entertained.
Yes.
There's always something to do.
And they're thinking about you and their ship. These are multi-million-dollar vessels.
Right.
So they're going to do what's best for the passengers and the crew and the ship. Because these things are insured and you're insured. Nobody wants to have to deal with that.
And it's not just the passengers that are disappointed in the change of ports.
Right.
The staff is too. So we were talking to our server. Him and his wife actually work on the same ship. And they go in rotations where 1 week some of the staff can get off the ship and enjoy the ports. And the next week the other group does. Or I don't know how it does. But they rotate it all out. This husband and wife, our server, they were supposed to get off in Bermuda.
And hang out. Have a good time.
Right, and they never get to be in port together.
Right.
So it's not just us, it's them too. They were disappointed too. So
I'd be disappointed.
And the last thing to really consider is during hurricane season, these islands are already, struggling. The poverty levels are already really high. When a hurricane comes through, it is absolutely catastrophic sometimes. It's important to give back to these communities, and one way to do that is by cruising and by going into the ports and spending your money at the local ports and supporting these people. That's one of the reasons why we purchased what we did from...
I forgot her name.
Denise?
Yeah, her
Debbie?
name was Denise. It was Denise.
Maybe.
It was
I don't
Denise.
know. Check out that blog. We'll tell you about that then.
Yeah.
Nassau, Bahamas.
But some of her family lived in Freeport.
Right.
That got hit pretty hard.
Yeah. So her family was struggling. And, we talked about this on that day's vlog too. You don't really know if people are telling the truth whenever they tell you stories like that. You don't know if it's just a sob story. But all I know is I did the right thing.
Right.
And that's what matters. So when you go into ports, you want to support that local economy. Same thing with tourism in the U.S. We live in a huge tourist city. We live in Myrtle Beach. we rely on the tourism to support our city. Hopefully work on the roads. Like there's so many pieces to it. The same thing applies to these other countries.
Right.
And you have all these cruise lines that are coming to all of these ports, but it's important to support them, especially during hurricane season when they very well could have had huge catastrophic storm before or after your arrival.
Whatever you do for them could help them be prepared for that storm coming their way.
Absolutely.
So guys, what do you think about cruising during hurricane season? Are you for it, against it? You know, what are your thoughts? Make sure you leave them in the comments below. Let us know. And also remember to like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And guys, see you next time.
Bye.